whatever the hell that means.
I'm sure this charm. We are currently live.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo! Awesome.
Currently live. I'm gonna pull it up on the YouTube side. How's everyone doing today?
I'm still getting the hang of this whole
StreamYard thing. Yeah. I mean, you can, like, I don't know if you've played around with it too much, but you can, have fun with the windows and all that. Maybe once Ira gets in here, you could, you can reconfigure it however you want. Because you can, like, while you're live, even you can change the window size and all that. So whatever you want to do. Sweet, man. So this is pretty awesome. Thanks for inviting me on for this one. You didn't have to do it.
No, I just thought, we're both horror fans, and it's just a cool thing, to be able to chat to these, awesome actors, like especially in movies back then, that we grew up with. That,
yeah,
it's fun though. I wonder if we're going to learn anything new today. I'm sure we will.
I sure hope so. And I love, I just really love how, and maybe it's like this in other, subgenres and everything, but like, I love that in horror, like there's just so much accessibility. And, so people that have been in, whether they've been in, one of these movies that's, celebrated for decades and decades, or maybe they've been in a whole bunch or multiple franchises, no matter what it is, they just seem like down to earth people that are, so thankful for the fandom, because man, horror fans, we're pretty nuts, like nuts in a good way, like how crazy is it? So you can take a look at each one of these franchises. Like, let's just talk about the big three for a second. Oh. So we all love them, and maybe everyone ranks them a little bit differently as far as like love goes. And even though there are movies in these franchises that are like stronger and movies that are weaker, you're always going to find some horror fan out there that maybe the least liked movie in the franchise is their favorite,
Oh,
and then, like, so it's amazing that, like, even, for folks that maybe played a role back in 1983 in some slasher flick that they don't really think about very often. And, they go to a convention and they get a line of people, that are like, oh my God, you're my favorite character ever, like stuff like that. I love that about the horror community. In the instance of Dream Warriors, we definitely don't have to worry about having the conversation about anyone thinking it's in the bottom part of the ranking. It's one of the movies in this franchise that I think is, it's just guaranteed a top 3 spot in a ranking on this franchise. Some people would put it at number 1, wherever. But yeah, it's especially cool to get to talk to somebody from one of these movies that still has like such a massive impact, which Dream Warriors is probably the film in the franchise that's most responsible for, like, when we close our eyes and we think of who Freddy Krueger is, I think Dream Warriors, Dream Master a little bit too, like those two are kind of like the Freddys that we imagine, personality wise.
Yeah, 100%. Gotta ask, what is your favorite, what's your favorite kill in it? For me, it's probably the TV.
You like the TV kill? Okay, so favorite kill. Gosh, do I have to pick a favorite kill? I don't know, man. That puppet thing, that whole like marionette thing, I feel the pain. Like it feels like my tendons are being pulled out. Or is that what it is? Or is he using the tendons? I think that's what that is. I'm not a doctor. But yeah, that is just excruciating to me.
It just looks so agonizing, but it's so practically well done. Like,
it is, yeah. It's so believable. It's really well performed, because there's like miming going on, in the shots that are mimed. Like, I think all the performance is very consistent there. So yeah, those are some pretty rough kills right there. Yeah, Dream Warriors is a lot of fun though. It's, you ever play the video game from the Nightmare on Elm Street video game from the NES?
I don't think so. I have seen footage of it though. It looks,
it's good. I'll say this. So like LJN, the company that made it, they're notorious for making crap games. and they did all the licensed games. So like if you played like TNC Surf Design, or like the Friday the 13th video game, or the Roger Rabbit, like a lot of movies got turned into video games by LJN. However, the company that made A Nightmare on Elm Street, LJN had the rights and their name is on it, but Rare, I think it's Rare, is the company that actually made that game. And then Rare went on to do Donkey Kong Country and all this stuff. So anyways, the game's really fun, and Ira's character of Will is represented in the game in some way. So I would love it if they brought that game back. Like, just give me a new Nightmare on Elm Street game. That's fine. Like modern game on the current generation, but just include the NES game in the bonus, little something unlockable feature, something like that.
Yeah, like a little extra, like a little something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit of extra flavor there.
Yeah, I've sent them Ira a couple of messages, but for some reason they seem to be going through to his email. So I've sent it to a different email of his. So hopefully he gets it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can hang for a bit. Yeah, man. I don't know. Do you have anything else on this film that you want to? Well, I guess we probably want to save quite a bit for when Ira's here, but I guess we can just kind of talk about, the franchise in general. Max, where do you put your, like, when you rank your big three, like, where do you put those?
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Because I mean, I love them all, but I have my ranking in my head, but I enjoy all of these franchises,
Sorry. It's hard to say. I mean, years ago, when I was younger, I would have said Chucky would have been like in top, but because it started to get pretty, bit more ridiculous as time went on, and unfortunately became a comedy, and completely, it sort of lost its identity, and so that would have been in the top three. If it was, it would probably be four. If we're going to say four, but three.
Yeah.
So we're going to start from 3, 2 to 1. So 3 would probably be Hellraiser.
Okay.
And then 2 would be probably Friday the 13th, and then 1 would be Halloween. So
okay. All right. Hellraiser, man. I've only seen the first 3. I got to get through the rest of the franchise.
Oh man, I genuinely feel like it should have ended on the 4th one. I feel like they ended it perfectly.
Is that Bloodlines or Bloodline, the 4th one?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going through and I'm watching. My goal this year is to watch 365 movies I've never seen before. And so I'm at like 90 or something like that, or 88, something like that. And so I'm going through, like, there were a couple movies I hadn't seen in the TCM franchise just for whatever reason. And so I finally just knocked those off the list. Like, I finally watched Poltergeist 3. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm kind of scraping a bit of the bottom of the barrel. But yeah, I got to jump into the rest of the Hellraiser. There are way more of those Hellraiser movies than I ever knew.
Oh, there's like loads of them.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, this one. Yeah, I thought there was only, like, at one point I was like, oh, there was one where Doug Bradley didn't play Pinhead, like, in that initial run. And I'm like, oh no, there's like a couple where they have like another guy come in and play him. I was like, I had no idea. But if I'm going to rank if I'm just going big 3, I would do A Nightmare on Elm Street in 3rd, Friday the 13th in 2nd, Halloween in 1st. That's my thing. But I will, admittedly, I kind of came into Nightmare late. Like, I knew who Freddy Krueger was as a kid in the 80s. Like, it was just impossible to not know who he was.
Oh, 100%. I'm going to bring, he's here.
He's here. In. Perfect. So, hell yeah.
Like a wizard. Let's see if we can make him appear.
All right. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Ira.
Oh, wow. This is finally happening. Cool.
Finally.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing well, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Okay. Which one's Max?
That's me. Hello.
And Davey is? That's you.
That's me.
I'm Ira. Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Ira.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take you through my little system here. I don't know if we could check this out. You can see a little bit of a little Freddy Krueger action down here.
Lovely.
That's kick-ass.
You can see this is a picture that Robert gave me from the set.
Oh, man.
Eat Shit and Die. Very nice. This is a nice thing that I produced. We did a reading of Dream Warriors 6 years ago, and we raised 20 grand for mental health awareness, the Dee Dee Hirsch Foundation, which was cool.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right. And Robert played Robert, and we had a ton of fun doing that at the Whiskey A Go-Go. And then this is my latest production. We just did a small meet and greet at Slasher World here in LA called A Nightmare on Melrose Street.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. All right, well, I just had to like bring you up to my room. So
yeah, it's amazing, like the way that the horror community is, because like what Max and I were talking about when we first started the stream is, I mean, obviously Dream Warriors is like, when people talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street, that's, you know, it's in like everyone's top 3 at least, you know, it's just this beloved film. But what's so incredible about, I think, just the community is that, well, first off, the performers are very accessible, which is
thank you. Yes,
really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then the fans, man, they are just, we're so rabid that every character has a contingent of horror nerds where that's like their favorite character, and even the lesser movies in the franchise get all of this awesome celebration. It's just something you don't see in a lot of other genres of film. I don't know, like, what's your experience with horror, Ira? Like interacting with people and everything like that. Like, how have you found that to be?
Well, first of all, like growing up watching horror movies, I wasn't a big fan. Scared the hell out of me. Like the Chiller. I remember in the 70s living in New York City, and I used to watch Chiller Fest on TV, and it was this hand that would come up, Chiller. I mean, freaked the hell out of me. The Exorcist came out, and I was like, Dad, can I go see it? And he's like, okay. And I was like, no, thank you. I don't want to go. So horror was never really a big thing. I mean, I braved myself to be able to watch some shows, like especially in high school. I did get to see Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, with some buddies in Tampa, Florida. And I literally watched it like this. It was like,
oh man,
it was scary, man. Freddy was not anything you wanted to fuck with. Pardon my French. Yeah. And then I came out to LA and began acting, and auditioned for this Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and then all of a sudden it was great. I was on set with all these wonderful actors, and Robert, who's just knows everything and anything about anything in the world, acting, anything. And it was wonderful. So I mean, that was kind of my introduction into real horror, you know, and not until I would say about 18 years ago did I get asked to go to my first horror convention. I was like, what? I can go to these and check it out and sign autographs and get paid and talk to people? Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. It sounds fine to me. Man, the community, the horror fan is 100% in. It's the most amazing experience. It's an incredible family. And going to these conventions, not only meeting the fans, but, you know, catching up with people that were in other movies that I had never met before. You know, I just met Fiona Dorff, who voiced Chucky, and her dad voiced Chucky. And it's crazy cool. And I mean, if you had told me this almost 40 years ago, next year is our 40th anniversary for Dream Warriors, that I would be looked upon as one of the best in the franchise, you know, the Dream Warriors. I would have said, yeah, whatever. Okay, sure. Sounds fine. But I mean, I did know, you know, at some point that we had a special movie together. You know, these teenagers, parents, nobody wanted to listen to us, and we're thrown into a mental ward and literally had to fight our way out together, you know.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
It's man, Dream Warriors, I mean, obviously, celebrated for all those reasons. But yeah, it's got to be like you're saying, like you're part of this huge family now that's got, you know, oh man, the VHS is beautiful. Do you have it on Betamax as well, Ira?
I used to. But guys, don't forget to take your Hypnosil before tonight's over, okay? Because it's very important.
You've got to take that Hypnosil.
That will keep you awake. Otherwise, this guy's going to come and get you.
Oh, I've got it in my pocket.
Now, did you guys have was there any sort of sense on set? And I don't know how much of how much the performers really are, privy to any of the creative part of the conversation, but was there any sense on set about this being sort of like getting Freddy back to what he was more so in the first movie, as far as like a dream demon that really doesn't like come into the real world? Was there any sort of like, hey guys, we're getting this back on track? Or was it more of like, this could be the last one, we don't even know, because you're in the middle of this like fad that could seemingly be done like that? So what was that like, just as a young performer on set?
Davey, It was more the second. It was definitely not, hey, whatever happened in Nightmare 2, let's try to do something. We were also focused on our characters. We were also focused on what we had to do. Chuck Russell, wonderful writer, The Blob, wonderful director. Patricia Arquette, her first movie, horror movie. Lawrence Fishburne, Craig Wasson, and the kids. I remember auditioning and seeing Rodney Eastman and seeing Ken Sagos and Jennifer Rubin. And I remember telling Bradley Gregg, because I knew him before, you got to come in on this great part in this horror movie. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, once we got in, we were all in. You know what I'm saying? It was a sense of we had our characters, we knew what our purpose was, and we had to fight this dude. We had to know our lines and hit our marks and kick Freddy's ass. And Heather Lighting, my gosh, to get to work with Heather was amazing. She was like our leader, and still to this day, one of my best friends. Actually, I have a meeting with her in 3 hours. We're hopefully another project together.
Oh, all right. There you go. Yeah, she has. It's funny, like, even though it's only been a couple years, I know there's a time jump in the universe or whatever, but yeah, it's only been a couple years, but it feels like this legacy return, like this great return to have her come back, especially with the gray in her hair, and she's got this matriarchal kind of role. She's the only adult that's willing to actually listen to the kids. It's a really cool story element that I think is one of the big reasons why I'm a big story guy. I'm like, all the gore and all that stuff's great, but if the story isn't there, and if the story isn't driven by the characters, and the characters aren't changing and growing, then what are we really doing? And Dream Warriors has that all over with such a great ensemble cast. But I've been blah blahing. Max, I know you've got questions on your channel, so I'm
come on, Max. This is you, buddy. This is your chance. Anyway, so what I was saying was,
gosh, one thing I was wondering, right? I know that you were, the Wizard Master, and then we had like the punk chick lady. I was always wondering, did you ever was anybody ever asked like, what would you like to be, or were you just sort of told you're going to be the Wizard Master, you're the punk chick? Did you ever? Was there any option of what you could have been, or?
So that's a good question, Max. I had a wonderful manager who I had just signed with, Marilyn Sherman, who founded Jimmy Smits, Forrest Whitaker, one of my best friend's brothers, Bill Allen. So she was the one that said, that got the breakdowns, because managers would get the breakdowns from the studios and everything. This is what we're looking for. So she saw nerdy Dungeons and Dragons, young Will. And so she put me up for that role. And so I automatically said, yeah, man, I'm so into that, because I used to play Dungeons and Dragons. So I knew, I really basically knew that role up and down. That was me. Whoever you see on that screen, that's not Ira acting. That was totally me, Ira. But at the audition process, and I auditioned like 5 times for that part. There was one time that I did help Chuck Russell, because Rodney wasn't there and they were auditioning all the nurses. So he said, Ira, will you come in and read Rodney's role? or read that role for Joey while the other nurses are auditioning. So if you could only imagine, Max, a young teenage Ira getting to have all these hot nurses come in and drool all over me. that was the best audition process ever, man. I was like, Chuck, you really should hire me for this role because it's so much fun and it's so much work. It's so hard. No pun intended there.
That sounds so awesome.
So yeah, I mean, that was the main role was to play Will, and that was really the only role that I auditioned for.
Now, was there, as far as that, that role of Will goes, there's like this, you balance this, there's a vulnerability there, and it's balanced with this like quiet bravery, that Will's got. Was there like a specific moment in the script when you're reading through that you felt like, okay, I've found this like emotional center, or I've really found this character? Was that something that was more gradual, or like when you read a script or read a character like Will, are you like, okay, I'm locked and I know exactly who this guy is and how I need to portray him?
Yeah, David, my favorite scene, I mean, obviously my favorite scene is my death scene, because it's pretty iconic and epic to get killed by Freddy Krueger by Robert.
Yes.
But
hell yeah.
Like you said, the defining moment where I think Will really, well, there's two, but the first one is for sure when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons with Taryn and Joey, and I'm explaining them the game, because that's me showing my power as a dungeon master, and to be able to say what's going on here. Okay, you have to roll the dice. Okay, now you have to say the words. Okay, so now that you said the words and you roll the dice, this is what's happening. What are you going to do? He kind of gets his sense of, not just this meek, poor kid in a wheelchair, he's kind of guiding the whole situation, and it's so much fun. And, so we get to that point, and then of course, Lawrence Fishburne comes in and says, lights out.
Yeah.
Which is such a bummer. But then the other small moment was for sure when we were trying to get into the dream world, and nobody knows that we're actually there. And I'm like, wait, we're here because I could stand up. I can walk, and then I can use my wizardry, blow a butterfly, through my hands, make him appear and stuff like that. So yeah, those were the two moments that really helped define me as my character.
Awesome. Now, have you ever played the original NES, A Nightmare on Elm Street game?
No.
So we talked about it a little bit. LJN, who made the game, they're known for being, bad video game makers. However, every now and then something slips through the cracks and they hired somebody else to make the game. And the Nightmare on Elm Street game is, in my opinion, really fun. I played it as a kid. It was one of the first, Freddy things that I ever interacted with as a kid. I'm an 82 baby. So, I'm, little on the young side, but I have 4 older siblings. So by the time 86, 87 rolls around, when Dream Warriors is coming out, I know who Freddy is. Like, he's plastered everywhere. But the game is actually really fun. And even though it's called A Nightmare on Elm Street, it's pretty much a Dream Warriors adaptation. And your character Will is represented in there because you can pick up a wizard icon. And when you go into the dream world, you can become either a ninja, a wizard, or an acrobat. And so you have to pick up the icon. So your wizard guy is there in the video game, Ira.
Oh, man.
Will is in there.
That is awesome. Man, I'll tell you, wouldn't it be really cool to have a new Nightmare on Elm Street video game?
Oh my gosh. It would be incredible.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine if we actually were able to jump through the IP hoops and coordinate with Warner Brothers and Jonathan Craven and stuff? Who knows?
You might know a couple people that could get in their ear.
Maybe.
And what's really amazing with not only have we seen these great horror video games, Friday the 13th, TCM, we've got, Halloween coming out here in September, and they brought Nick Castle back. They put him in that mocap suit. Granted, they have a younger performer as well to do some of the crazier stunts, but I'm like,
right,
Robert could definitely come back in a video game. I think Robert could come back in a movie and you could mocap him, but maybe that's me being too ambitious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, he's he's 70 now, right? Or yeah,
I think he's in his I think he's 70, mid to late 70s,
75 or 76. So you're not going to get the spry Freddy, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would never say never.
A video game of A Nightmare on Elm Street would be bonkers, and I know a lot of people are, they want that to come to fruition, because that going into the dream world with today's technology and all that would just be amazing. And to be able to play as Freddy, to do what they do in all these other games where like 4 people get to be the heroes and 1 person gets to be Freddy. Yeah, that would be incredible.
I think
it happen, Captain.
Definitely happen. I know Robert Englund has openly said that he is, open to doing like vocal, like to the voice of Freddy, like in an animated series or anything. So that could even pass it in a video game. I think he could do it vocally, and he still has it. Like you can still hear him now and again, like throwing out Freddy's laugh. You're like, he's still got it. He's still got it.
Yes,
it's in there.
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, yeah, he was just I think he was in Brussels or something for a convention either last weekend or the weekend before, and so he's always signing and showing, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," which is pretty awesome. You know that he improvised that line.
Yeah. No, that's
yeah.
That is such a defining moment for that character too. And they just took it and ran. All the other scripts, they were like, we're going to put bitch after everything he says.
Right.
Like, we got, it just became this like Freddy-ism kind of thing.
Like you said, that third movie, I mean, it erupted, and it was, in a way, it was great because it's such a different take than the first one. Well, I mean, more on the first one, but then the second one, the second one had its own life. And, the woman that played Lisa on that, Kim Myers, is one of my dear, dear, dear friends. She's like my sister. So, we love her. And she actually came to the meet and greet that we just did.
Oh my gosh. She is absolutely gorgeous in that film. Like, she is
Definitely.
like low key
100%.
one of the prettiest women I don't hear a lot of people talking about her, but I'm like, oh my gosh, she's like this. It's like Meryl Streep's really cute little sister.
Yeah. And wasn't she like the only one that actually kissed Freddy?
I think so. I mean, she is the hero. Everyone's like, Jesse's the final guy. And I'm like, well, but Lisa becomes like the final girl. Like, she really does the saving.
I think she's the only one that's ever made out with Freddy Krueger.
It's true.
She had to kiss him. And it's really funny because we had special drinks at our event, and hers was called the Freddy Kiss.
Freddy Kiss.
But yeah, I mean, and again, so Nightmare 2 had its own thing, but 3 really brought, just like you were talking about, Davey, the whole story, and the wonderful just group of young teenagers that were trying to band together.
Yeah. So what was that like with the sorry, I have a question about that pulled up. So it's perfect that you brought it up there. Now, as far as like those, did you have like with I would imagine you probably had stage experience, and other experience before going into this film. So with those group therapy sessions where it's like all of you guys in the room, like, did any of that previous experience you have like influence how you approach those ensemble moments? Or was there like, did you guys get to do a lot of rehearsal to just kind of, cause it feels very cohesive. It feels like these are kids that do know each other and do know each other's struggles and backstories. So what was that like when you're, interacting with the whole group?
Well, one of the cool things about this was once we all got cast as our parts, we went into Westwood. We all had brunch together, and then we went to Chuck Russell's friend's flat and we read the script together. So we all really got a full sense of who we were, and really, got to deal with that group chatting thing. Oh shoot! Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Hello? No, not now. Sorry.
That's pretty handy.
Yeah, you can kill me later. Well, no, it was really amazing that we all got together and we became friends. And so the group scenes, again, were easier. The only really hard part was the bee smoke, man. They pumped that on the set like you wouldn't believe, to make it look, misty and eerie and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it was great. Craig Wasson was awesome, and Heather Langenkamp, and yeah, it was a wonderful group experience, and so I think we really learned from each other from that reading that we all did together. I wish we had. I think Chuck recorded it, but he couldn't. I asked him many times. He says he can't find the recording of that. So.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
Can you imagine the first recording of A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3?
A table read?
Yeah.
If a table read, if that got unearthed, that would be huge.
Right. And it was, I remember we were on the floor. It wasn't even a table because it was this flat. Right next to the Avco Theater. Right also next to the cemetery where Marilyn Monroe is buried.
Wow.
And Rodney Dangerfield, whose headstone says, "There goes the neighborhood," by the way.
Love it.
That's
awesome. Making jokes even in death.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, it's been incredible. And, I do have a recording. I do have a videotape of the reading we did 6 years ago at the Whiskey A Go-Go. So who knows if I'm allowed to release it at some point, or maybe we release part of it and sell more of it for the mental health awareness.
That would be awesome. I'd totally love to see that.
You had a lot of people that were there. The only people that didn't make it was Ken Sagos and Jennifer Rubin. They were in Minnesota at a convention. Actually, Heather Langenkamp flew in late that night to come in back to be here.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't have Patricia Arquette, unfortunately.
Oh.
But we had Brooke Thies read Jennifer Rubin's part. We had... Amanda Wyss played the doctor.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it was a good cast of people. So, but
maybe, I mean, she's basically Nurse Ratched from Cuckoo's Nest, the doctor. Right. She's just like, she is just this evil person.
Totally. Code Blue.
Now, so
she was horrible.
With the mental health charitable work, I think that's really awesome. It's powerful that horror is this really, we've talked about the community as far as like the fandom goes and everything, but just such a supportive community too. And to do something that's, this movie is about, teenagers that are going through like real actual anguish, and then Freddie just sort of, gloms onto that and takes advantage. Is that, have you always had a passion for wanting to help? Was it something that sort of like, how did the idea of doing the charitable work and centering it around Dream Warriors, how did that come to be?
Yeah, I always liked, for a kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian and help animals.
Oh, nice.
I've always liked helping. So, what more of a perfect setting than this movie? So I think, gosh, it was like 2014 maybe. A bunch of us were just sitting around after one of the conventions. It was Heather, Rodney Eastman, Bradley Gregg. I think it was just the four of us. And we were saying, yeah, we should take this on the road. We should like raise money. We should try to do this. And I had connections at the Whiskey A Go-Go. So I kind of took it further because there's always a lot of talk, a lot of these conventions, a lot of great ideas come to fruition, but nobody really does anything. So I took it upon myself to really make it happen. And so I really pulled Heather Langenkamp in. She was one of our main producers. This guy, Matt Murray, was also our other producer. He used to work for Stan Lee.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And so it's kind of crazy how things come about. I met Matt at a Sharky's Mexican restaurant, walking back with my tray with my wife and son. He's like, dude, you were in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. It's like one of my favorite movies. I was like, yeah, hey, work for Stan Lee, anything you want, anything. I was like, oh, okay, wait a second. Let's exchange numbers here. And we kept in touch. So I knew that he would be great to kind of moderate and help us out. So he helped put it together. And, I was thinking, well, we could have the reading, but we need to be able to, we should do it for something. And so we came up with the idea of doing it for mental health awareness. And Dee Dee Hirsch Foundation is literally right down the street here on Beverly Glen and Pico. And so we got to get them involved. And, we did a great reading for a great reason,
It's amazing how that stuff can snowball. It's that whole like field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. Like, all you need to do is say, hey, I want to do this. And then you would be so surprised, who comes out. I grew up playing music and stuff like that. And, used to do like, whether it's canned food drives or raising money for like a battered women and children's shelter or whatever. Like, those are these things where I grew up. So Ira, full stop. I grew up in Juneau, Alaska, 30,000 person town, landlocked. And I like 23 years and I found punk rock and found horror. So I felt like one of the weirdest kids in town, but I had my 5 friends that all like loved punk rock and horror movies. And so, when it came to doing stuff like that, it's like, how do we make this happen? Because that stuff didn't happen in my hometown. Right. I was like, well, the adults might help if I do something that's charitable. And it just sort of opened those doors. And it is amazing to see, how much people are willing to, offer and give. And it's powerful.
It's so true, Davey. I'm working on another project. And today's a heavy day because today was the day that Brandon Lee unfortunately was shot on the movie The Crow. He was a really good friend. And so there's actually going to be a documentary coming out that I produced called starring Brandon Lee. It should be out hopefully in December, we're looking. But there's also a script told, the story told by Bill Allen, who was Brandon's best friend. So we have approached, we got introduced to Robbie Krieger. I don't know if you know who Robbie.
Oh, yeah. Guitarist of the Doors.
Thank you. Yes. The guitarist for the Doors, who I saw last Saturday night at the Whiskey Go-Go. So when I approached him about, I'm doing this reading at the Whiskey Go-Go. And he's like, well, how can I help? I said, well, why don't you come and play for us? He's like, I can't because I'm rehearsing and we're about to take off to the East Coast, but I could get a guitar and sign it for you and you could auction it off. And so we did. And we got $5,000 just for that guitar.
Wow.
So like you said, you talk about it and how the snowball kind of builds.
Yep. It feels like, how am I going to do this? And then all you have to do is mention it to some people. And, it's at some point it's going to reach somebody that's like, here you go. I'm going to offer all of this. It's a beautiful thing.
It is
just word of mouth. Yeah. Word goes around and it's wonderful.
Yes.
Wow.
It for sure is. Now, wait, where are you now, Davey? Are you in London as well?
I live in Phoenix, Arizona.
That's quite different than London.
A little bit of a different, all my family came down here. So nice. I had family all over for a little bit, but then the grandkids and my parents came down here, and I was living in Portland at the time, and I was kind of getting, just in a rut. And I was like, I need to be around family. So made the move here like in 2019. So sweating bullets almost all the time. What can you do? But but what's great is, growing up where I grew up, everything's so isolated. I would have to fly to Seattle just to watch bands play music. Like if I want to see a band that I loved, I would have to take a flight. And so now it's amazing to be in Phoenix, to get to go and do things like Mad Monster. I drove out to the Halloween 45th convention, to be able to do those things.
It's great.
That to me is just amazing. And to be able to rub shoulders with, people in the horror alumni such as yourself. It's just,
I'm hoping to do Mad Monsters someday, man.
Oh my, it is such a blast. I call it church just because everyone is just so nice, and it's, it's wild. You see all these crazy horror people, and then you realize that they're the sweetest, most giving,
right? Fully normal, fully rings everywhere.
Yeah. When I tell people that I like horror movies, their head does the Stewie Griffin from, Family Guy. They look at you like, is something wrong with you? And I'm like, I just like the roller coaster. I'm a comedy and horror guy. I just don't want, when I watch a movie, I want to escape,
What's your favorite comedy?
Favorite comedy is got to be something like Caddyshack or Fletch, like that early Chevy Chase sort of vibe. Like those really crack me up. I'm a big like Airplane, Naked Gun guy too.
Yes. Oh my God. So my mom used to work for a PR firm, and they handled Leslie Nielsen. And I was invited to a party.
Awesome.
And it was the best because I swear to God, there's all these people laying around, standing around, drinking and everything. And Leslie's like, oh, I got to go sit down. And as soon as he sits down,
he has his little fart machine.
Oh, always. It was great.
Yes.
He was amazing. My favorite comedy is Blazing Saddles.
Yes.
Mine too.
Can't go wrong with Mel Brooks.
Big Mel Brooks fan, although I don't think you'd be able to make that movie right now.
But he's making Spaceballs too, and he said it's going to be offensive, so there's hope.
Hopefully I'm hoping that, comedy needs to be free. Everyone needs to be on the table, make fun of everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, people are even kind of weird about Blazing Saddles, even, when they look back on it today. And I know this is way off topic of, why you're here to chat, Ira, but it's still interesting nonetheless because you're a fan.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, hey guys, we need to remember when we go watch any movie that's in the past, even if it's not because of, the words that are being used or the themes, but even if it's just if I watch Citizen Kane, I'm not judging it on a 2026 scale. Although if I did, it would still be pretty damn high. But, you go back and you watch these movies, you can't compare the original Halloween to Terrifier 3, exactly. So when we go back and we watch Blazing Saddles, and even in that time, they're still making a point by using the uncomfortable language. It's there to make a point and to make you realize how absurd it is. That's kind of the fun thing about comedy is you can have a character that's kind of a hateful character, but the joke is on them for
the joke is totally on them. Like the railroad scene when they're just oh my God, they're chopping and chopping. Doc, that think a day's pay for napping on the job. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
No, there's so many great one-liners.
I hope they push it. I hope Scary Movie kind of opens that. The new Scary Movie looks like it's going to try to, get people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And,
definitely.
And I like that, I like that.
Yeah. Because, you got to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Can't take life too serious, man.
And everyone deserves to be made fun of. I think that's the thing. There's no class that should be protected from humor in our world.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my little. I'll get off my pedestal about.
I like it. Yeah.
Max, do you have another question? I feel like I've really been doing the Davey Deathray thing and dominating the conversation.
Oh, I was actually going to ask Ira, what was your favorite Blazing Saddles joke?
Oh my God.
And there's so many.
The Johnson and how many different Johnsons are there? I mean, just that whole movie, Kim Myers and I joke about that movie all the time. I met Kim on a movie that I did called Illegally Yours, where I played Rob Lowe's brother. It was a movie that Peter Bogdanovich directed. And Rob at the time said that there was a summer that he and Emilio Estevez watched Blazing Saddles every single night. And that kind of tuned me more into it. But my gosh, there's just so many great things. Like we always joke, Kim and I always joke about Madeline Kahn. I've been through thousands of men again and again. They're always coming and going. Some of them too soon. There's just so much. There's just so many great lines.
The Mel Brooks
standing in line, and there's one dude chewing gum. I hope you brought enough gum for everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't get a harump out of that guy.
Yes, exactly.
You watch your ass.
You watch your ass. That's one of my favorite scenes. Mel Brooks is just trying to hit the thing, and this thing's broken. It's not working.
This thing is defective.
This thing, there you go. Yeah,
so I love his style of comedy is so saturated, right? There's like joke. If you laugh, you might miss the tag, or you might miss a second joke. You know,
Yes.
it's so you can watch these movies over and over because you're not going to get all the jokes the first time through. You know,
maybe there needs to be a comedy Nightmare 3.
That would be cool.
Can't you make fun of something there?
You should be able to do it. Or, you know, you could do a musical and throw in some comedic elements. I think a musical with Freddy Krueger would be amazing. And I actually like already in my mind started composing this song. So
right. Well, what do you have? You have Sweeney Todd. You also have now, they just did Lost Boys. That's coming out.
Yeah.
You know,
they've got Evil Dead the musical. They did that. That's really fun.
I'm gonna have to revisit this because a long time ago, the guy that was in Sean Greenblatt, who was in Freddy's Dead, the last one that Rachel Talalay directed. Sean and I are buddies. His brother also has done so many musicals and put it together. Their dad was a huge Broadway guy, producer in New York City. I think, again, these things need to be revisited. See, here's the snowball.
Yeah. So now if they ended up doing, say the right people get in the ear of the Craven estate and they end up wanting to do something like a video game, would that be, you know, I think that would be a really good way to kind of test the waters. I think I'm seeing horror kind of do that, right? Friday the 13th is doing the TV show and they plan on doing movies. TCM is going to follow that same kind of thing. Almost like, hey, can we bring in the old audience, but also some new audience? And then, you know, with Nightmare, you know, possibly being turned into a video game, I think that would be a great way for the Craven estate to find out how many people really love, you know, what Wes created and put together here. Now, would there be a chance we would see a mocap version of Will here if they ended up putting together a video game? Would you I'm guessing you would be open to that, right? Jumping back in?
Certainly hope so.
You have to, right? You got to.
Yeah, I mean, come on. There'd have to be something like that in that world. Yeah, I mean, and again, even like, you know, you have like, there's so many ways to branch off with the Nightmare on Elm Street that hasn't been branched off. Like, you know, prequel. What happened to Freddy? You know, why did he become who he is? Sure, we've talked about it. Let's see what actually happened. What did Amanda Kruger do? You know, like how did all this happen? You know? And I mean,
so many unanswered questions. Yeah, like
what if
they could easily explore?
Yeah, what if you just woke up and, you know, the phone rings? Hello, hey Nancy, yeah, it's Will. I've been having those dreams again. Again. You
simple.
Know,
it's you know,
something can happen in the way that, you know, wait, how are they alive? They died there. Well, was it just a dream?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and it's especially in this franchise, because I feel like movie to movie, the lore, depending on who's writing it, the lore is not very consistent, which is okay. We totally expect it in these horror franchises. I don't think there's one. Scream is the closest we get to something that runs like congruently and relatively grounded, right? So you could always play around. And I think another cool thing that we've seen, you know, and maybe the David Gordon Green Halloween movies are a little responsible for it, is just this idea of like, pick a movie in the franchise and do a sequel to that one.
Right.
Legacy. You could just pick up right after Dream Warriors and do a 40 years later. You know what I mean? But if they do a video game, you could have teenager Will in there.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much there's so much you can do. And one of the things I love doing and want to do more of at these conventions is actually reading the script in front of the fans, you know. It's kind of fun to play those roles again.
Yeah.
And that's why it was a blast doing the reading. You know, it was called Robert Englund and the Dream Warriors, celebrating a nightmare. That was a blast to get to read Will again, you know? And it just kind of threw me right back into it.
So like, do you feel like by doing that, in a way, like in your mind, like Will was never really killed off, like he survived in you by like doing readings, and you know, does it make you feel like, oh, Will's still here, he's still around?
Absolutely. I've resurrected that dude many times, man.
That's the amazing thing about film and just about storytelling is like the characters are always alive. You just go back and watch the movie or read the book or read the comic. You know what I mean? It's like that spirit is like it's captured on that in that one story, in that one product or whatever. So he's always there. And Ira, I'm sure you probably already working on this, but like you said, next year is the 40th anniversary.
Isn't that crazy?
So next year would be the perfect year to try to get the band together for some of those Mad Monsters or Days of the Dead and put together those readings, maybe put together some photo ops, you know.
See, we love the photo. It's so crazy, those photo ops. And one of the things that Nightmare on Elm Street 3 does, and I don't know if they do it with anybody else, like after we take our photo, we always say like, welcome to prime time, bitch.
Yeah.
Or if you fall asleep and if you die in your dreams, it's for real. That would give the fans a little something extra. In the name of Floorwork, Prince of L's, Demon Be Gone.
Yes.
Have a nice stroll, asshole. You know, I mean, we pull the lines out because it's kind of fun to do. But yeah, our 35th anniversary, it felt like a rock and roll tour because we went to Burbank, California. We went to Texas Frightmare in Dallas. We went to For the Love of Horror in Manchester, England. We went to Monster Mania in Pennsylvania. That was awesome. They were all awesome. And I'm hoping that next year, you know, we get to do the same tour. There's rumor that I may be getting into SteelCon, which is in 2 weeks.
Ooh, very cool.
You know who's going to be there?
I don't.
Patricia Arquette.
Damn.
She's only done 2.
That is and maybe that's one of the keys too. If Patricia could come back, if they could find a way to get Patricia and Heather in another movie, and then the amount of other folks you could, you know, bring into it after that.
It has to happen.
Because
it has to happen.
Yeah, I love seeing people come back to horror. And, you know, Patricia was just in They Will Kill You, which even though the movie didn't make a lot of money on the weekend, like that movie is very fun, really entertaining. I had a total blast. It is like a Sam Raimi meets Kung Fu, Raimi meets Tarantino kind of thing, you know. Nice. And Patricia's great, you know, so she's still got that horror love, you know.
No, she's great. One of the things, my personality is I always keep in touch with everybody. And so I met Patricia's brother, David, many years after, because he worked on The Outsiders with my best friend at the time, the late, great Harold Pruitt. So I see Davey all the times at these conventions and text each other and all this good stuff. And so, I don't know. Somehow I think I could get to Patricia.
Yeah.
We can make something happen.
David's amazing. I mean,
David's so great. He's so cool. Yeah. Do you know he does this whole wrestling thing? Do you know that he is stronger than a motherfucker?
I saw some pictures because I follow him on social and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I saw he was like just playing Bozo the Clown. He's like a big clown fan. Does all this like charitable work and all this like, you know, just bringing some positivity and some relief.
No, he's seriously the best. Like I'm a huge hockey fan and I went to the one of the games when the Kings were playing the Chicago Blackhawks in the playoffs, and my kid was like 10, and I'm like, David, because I saw him and he's like, oh my God, and I was like, this is my son Ira. I mean, my son Ethan, and so he grabs Ethan and takes him and buys him a stuffed doll there, and you know, my kid never will forget that, and I won't forget.
Yeah,
he's got a heart of gold.
Absolutely. Yeah. Got to make your way to Patricia. We got to have her back. It would be that could be the thing that really pushes it.
Well, let's see. If I get into SteelCon, I will talk to her.
Be like, Patricia, I just talked to this guy, Davey Deathray. He's kind of a mover and shaker. All right.
Yes,
he gave
exactly.
me this idea.
I was supposed to have
You haven't heard of him yet.
Yes, exactly. I was supposed to have lunch with Chuck Russell last week, but something came up. But yeah, there's lots of stuff, lots of ways to make things happen.
So that's it. Okay, I'll just ask I didn't have a Chuck Russell question planned, but that's pretty, he's kind of on this swing back to horror in his career too, you know, just having jumped back into horror just recently. What was it? It was the he just did the Witchboard follow-up.
Correct.
And he did did he do the original?
I don't know.
Okay. But so, of course, we know him from Dream Warriors. I think a lot of people forget that he did The Mask.
The Mask, Jim Carrey.
Which is super fun movie. He did the Blob remake, of course, which you brought up, which is one of the best remakes of all time. Like the Blob is out of control fun. Like
what was
and
the
Eraser? He did Eraser too.
Yeah. What was the movie? God, Rodney Dangerfield. Was it Back to School?
Oh yeah.
Chuck was
that one.
Chuck was a producer on that.
Okay.
And he was telling me, do you remember like Rodney Dangerfield having to do like the thing where he dives off the diving
triple
board?
Lindy?
The triple Lindy.
Yeah.
That was Chuck Russell. He came up with that.
Oh,
brilliant.
Wow. All right.
So yeah, I mean, like you say, Chuck has done so much great stuff. Yeah, you can't forget The Mask and the Blob, and I think he's doing HorrorCon LA in June 12th and 13th. I think he's going to do a panel for the Blob. So Davey, you may have to get a plane ride or a ride.
Might have to drive on out. It's only about a 6-hour drive. I'm in the West Valley of Phoenix, so it's not.
See, that's not bad.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. Growing up where I grew up, where I couldn't even drive out of my hometown.
Right.
Like, I'll take the drive.
You're right around the corner.
Yep, exactly.
Well, we'll keep in touch because I produced this thing, A Nightmare on Melrose Street, the meet and greet where we had all the actors. And so if it ever happens again, you have to come up.
Oh my God, I would love to.
And we'll have to tax the fly all the way over.
Yeah, and whatever it takes to get you out to Mad Monster. I don't know who needs to be convinced, but I will tell you this. There's a group out here in the Phoenix area called the Horror Show Channel. It's just it's a channel that's existed for about 11 years. I just started my channel about 2.5 years ago, and I interviewed the guy that was the lead of the Horror Show Channel because he made a fan film. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Dylan's New Nightmare, and it's a follow-up to Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and he got Miko to come back and play Dylan.
Okay.
And they do this, it's a true follow-up, so it's very meta, it's very real world. Anyways, I interviewed him and he was like, I kind of like the cut of your jibs. So they sort of brought me in, and the Horror Show Channel works with the people that put together Mad Monster. So, I don't know. I'm sure you've got, obviously you're going to be the one that's more connected, but if you need a Phoenix connection,
that sounds like a good way to get in there. Yeah, for sure. And again, like I said, I haven't never done Mad Monster anywhere.
It's so much fun.
Days of the Dead is fun, but my favorite is Texas Frightmare.
I bet.
The one that we did for the 35th anniversary, because the year before it was COVID, so they didn't have theirs. There was like 30,000 fans there.
Wow.
That was crazy.
Where did they do that event?
Gosh, it was right at the hotel, but
is it right near the stadium? Is it right near like AT&T?
I think so. I just remember having to get bussed into. Yeah. I guess they moved it into a bigger spot, but yeah,
that's amazing. 30,000 people.
It's so crazy, and I swear I feel like I'm a rock star when I do these things.
Oh, I bet.
It's so.
I mean, that's the amazing thing about this community is you can have in this huge franchise that spans decades. You could have an actor could play one role and be celebrated for eternity. Like it's a wild, and it's funny too. I think in horror for some of you all that were in these movies, maybe there was 15, 20 years where of course, you've got the fandom and everything, but there's not the convention world the way that we have it now.
No.
So now it's this sudden realization of like, oh my gosh, like everywhere you go, people love this character you played and love this movie. It's their favorite movie ever,
And how lucky am I, Davey, that, not only was I in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, but I also was in Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. So I got to work with the greatest Cassandra Peterson. I mean, the size of those knockers was one of my favorite lines. I'm allowed to say that. And then also getting to work with Jason Reitman directing me in Ghostbusters Afterlife because I played mini Stay Puft characters.
I saw that. I was going to ask you about that because sometimes IMDb messes up and I'm like, I saw that you had that voice role and I'm like, I wonder if there's just another person that has Ira's same name that did that, but that's really cool that you got that.
When I heard that he was getting ready to direct that, I hit him up on an email. He and I used to play broomball years and years and years ago when he was just a director. He just was directing commercials, and we've always kept in touch and stuff. And when I heard that he was doing that, I was like, I have to be a part of Ghostbusters somehow, some way. And at the time, I was doing a ton of voiceover work, ADR work, and things like that. And so I wrote him. I said, I'll do anything. It took him 11 months to get back to me. And at that point, I was like, I'm not even gonna, because you don't want to ask and ask and ask again, right?
Oh,
yeah.
But he wrote me back, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I've been so busy. Of course, we're working in 2 weeks. We're going to have you come in and do the ADR work. So I was like, oh my God, great. I'll do ADR. So I got to,
wow,
scream because ghosts were chasing me and stuff, like people at restaurants and lots of fun things. And then 3 o'clock came around and everybody was getting ready to leave. And they said, Ira, you have to stay. Jason requested you to stay to voice these extra characters. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I had no idea. I was working with John Cassier from Tales.
Oh, damn. Yeah, legend right there.
So many great people. And so that to me was my favorite voiceover job that I've ever done. Although I have one coming up in December in a horror movie called Catnip, where it's with Chevy Chase, Joey Lauren Adams, Bruce Dern, Jake Busey. I play Bruce Dern's son in it.
Wow, that's a stacked cast right there.
That's going to be coming out December around Christmas time, called Catnip.
So it's a Christmas horror movie.
Yes, it's a Christmas horror.
Nice.
I'm looking at the posters now. This looks wild. This looks like a zombie siege movie, but the zombies are cats.
Oh,
is the vibe I get from the poster.
Oh, it's going to be so great. Yeah, I was really excited that our director Niall is a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, and so I'm always doing a lot of work and finding out what's going on and what's who's shooting what. So when I saw that, I was like, come on, I want to be a part of it. By the time it was too late, he already cast everything. He goes, I do have a voiceover role if you want to do it. It's like, fuck yeah, why not? So,
yeah.
And it's a pretty significant scene, I'll tell you that. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And keep my eye out for that one. I've already got it pulled up on the IMDb here.
Yes, sir. Keeping it going. Also, I did a TV or movie called Keep Quiet with Lou Diamond Phillips. That'll probably be out in June.
Keeping busy.
Lou's been my buddy for over 35 years, and he's actually our director for the movie about Brandon Lee, because he was also friends with Brandon, and he co-wrote it with Bill. Yeah. So
when does the documentary come out?
So hopefully with sales and everything, it comes out in December. It's called Starring Brandon Lee. I'll be posting it at The Real Ira Heiden, REEL Ira Heiden. Play on words there.
Definitely keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that.
That's going to be huge when it comes out, because I know there's
it's not
so
about
many.
What happened. It's not about why did it happen and stuff. It's a lot of friends. It's family. It's everyone just talking about Brandon and who he was.
So just a celebration of his life, basically.
Total celebration.
Love that.
Yeah. I think people really dig that, because I know even in the while it's not strictly like a horror film or anything, there are those elements, and The Crow is absolutely celebrated within the horror community. It's one of those properties that, it's kind of right there with that, the first couple Tim Burton Batman movies, as far as really capturing that comic book kind of feel, like it's our world, but not really our world kind of vibe.
Yeah. I remember when Brandon got the script, and he's like, yeah, I play this guy who gets killed and venges his death. And I was like, dude, this is like the perfect opportunity. You're not following your father's footsteps. This is a totally different role. This is going to be great. And this was already after he did Rapid Fire, Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Brandon had chops, man. I mean, like not that his father didn't have chops, but his father, it was more about what he brought as a martial artist, right? So it's like the acting is secondary.
Dude,
And Brandon he's super powerful as a
oh my
performer.
God. We played racquetball together and he kicked my ass every single game, gave me points, won still. Then he went off to work on Showdown and I practiced my ass off. And when he came back, I finally beat him.
Hell yeah.
We mountain bike rode together. Tons of fun, man. His laughter was so infectious. And it's good to remember him on today. You know, a lot of our friends, we get together. Unfortunately, after he passed, we would always get together on this day at the place called the Red Lion, where we all used to have drinks with Brandon. You have a boot of beer, and if you drank the boot when it got lower, if you drank it the wrong way, it would splash in your face.
Yeah, you got to twist. You got to do the twist.
Nobody would tell anybody which way, so we all found out the hard way, which way to drink that. But so we finally, like, I would probably say like 20 years ago, because we get together every year. I was like, screw this. Why do we have to go on the day that he was shot? Why don't we fucking go on his birthday? Why don't we celebrate on a good day? So we switched it to February 1st. So always remembering him, the times that we had, and keeping the stories alive. Oh my God, playing poker with him at Lou Diamond Phillips' house. I wish we had a camera at that time. I wish.
What's your funniest memory of him?
Funniest memory? Oh my God. So we used to play racquetball, and whoever lost would have to do whatever the other person wanted, whenever the other person wanted. So of course, who loses? I do. And so it's like a Friday night, and I'm sicker than a dog. I got the worst flu. And I get the phone call. Ira, it's Brandon. Ira, you're my servant tonight. I'm having dinner with Eliza. And he lived right up the street from me. This is when I lived in Hollywood. I was like, yes, Brandon, what do you want? You need to go to Mayfair Market. You need to pick up a 6-pack of beer. You need to pick up this and that and bring it to me. What do I honor my bets.
Yeah.
And sure as hell, I had to go to the damn market, buy the beer, and buy whatever else he wanted, bring it to him. And he would yell, Ira, do not come in. Leave it at the door. Yes, Brandon. And, the funny thing is I did beat him in racquetball. And it was during the Clinton administration. He was running for president or something. And they were showing it on TV the day of election. Everyone was voting, and so Brandon lost, and I made him scream from the racquetball court all the way to the car. Clinton, yes, go Clinton, Bill Clinton. I mean, screaming at the top of his lungs. Everyone was looking at him like he was retarded, and I was like, "This is payback."
Beautiful. Love it.
You'll hear some great stories. You'll have to check out the documentary.
Yes. I can't wait.
But even better, we got to get this movie going, because like I said, Lou is going to direct it. Robbie Krieger is our executive producer. He already wrote our song called the Raven, the Crow, and the Dragon. And we have, we have Rami from the Foo Fighters playing keyboards on it. We have Dan Rothschild plays bass and backup vocals. Dan's dad produced 5 of the Doors albums. We have so many great things. We just need money. And we need to shoot this movie.
Now, so that movie would be what's the story of that one that you're talking about right there, Ira?
That's the movie. So 10 years after Brandon died, Bill Allen, the best friend who had moved out of LA, moved to New Mexico. He got sick of everything. Wrote a script, and that was called As the Crow Flies. And it's all these true stories about what happened when we were with Brandon. There were so many people there that was a nobody. Brandon lent this guy, John Lee Hancock, to finish a script because his computer broke, and he wrote a thing called The Perfect World that Kevin Costner ended up starring in. And John has gone on to be huge. All these people were just all hanging out at that time. It was such a magical time. Miguel Ferrer, RoboCop. Anyone see RoboCop?
No, I love R.I.P. man. Miguel Ferrer, that voice and his performances. I mean, I love him in everything, but RoboCop is one of my favorites. Like that to me is the quintessential 80s action movie.
It's
maybe Steve Lukather, guitarist from Toto.
Okay, all right.
All of us hanging out. Bill Mooney, Lost in Space.
Yeah. Wait, he did the Fish Head song. What were they called?
Yes, he did. Fish.
What was that band called?
The Brothers.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It always slips my mind, but Fish Heads is one of the first memories I have of like a novelty song. You know?
Yeah.
I remember seeing it like on MTV, the video.
Right. So all these characters are written in the script that Bill wrote. And I did a stage read, a table reading of it, and we tried to get that going, but nothing was going on with it. And I said, Bill, bring your script. Lou is having a birthday party. I said, I can't go. Bring your script there, because Bill and Lou, they knew each other from Texas, and give it to him and tell him see if he likes it. So Lou read it, and he said, I like it. I want to give my take as well, and it could be co-written. So that's what we have. And
right.
And we have Robbie Krieger, like I said, as our executive producer. I'm a producer on it. And we'll see what happens. We've had it for but it takes time, that's for sure. It's been 15 years. So
crowdfunding can be incredibly powerful. I'm sure you guys have all thought about that and everything.
True.
And then even there's, there are, what I've been surprised to find out. I don't know do you know who Womp Stomp Films are? Are you aware of Womp Stomp? So Womp Stomp there's a series of fan films called Never Hike Alone that are Friday the 13th fan films. And the production value is crazy. They get better and better and better. And it all started as a very small, like the guy wrote, directed, and plays Jason, Vincent DeSanti. He did all this. It was very DIY, very punk rock, but they've gotten slicker and slicker. And then Vin has done such a great job fundraising for all of these movies that he's now Womp Stomp Films. They're making original films and other people's movies.
So
okay, that might be a fun little asset to have for you guys.
Yeah, do help me get in touch with those guys, or just give me I'll reach out, because I'm shameless. So and then
I'm buddies with Vin, so I'd be more than happy to at least get that conversation going, because he can even help consult with crowdfunding stuff, even if anyways, I know we're talking shop in the middle of a stream, but I just wanted to throw it out there because I want your dream to come true, Ira.
Yes. My dreams are important, because in my dreams I am the wizard master and a producer. Damn it.
Yes. No. Yeah. When it's like we were talking about with the character with a character like Will, or any other character that doesn't make it out of the movie. Those characters are still alive every time you go back. And then with somebody like you guys all, the world lost Brandon in 1993, but people can go back to that small filmography, but it would be impactful and important for people to hear from the people that knew and loved him, and to be able to just open up that legacy to the folks like us that were just watching the movies and didn't know him personally. So got to keep him alive.
I'm trying to I'll pull up a really quick picture. So we had gone mountain bike riding, and then we also went to a place called in San Luis Obispo called Mountain de Oro, the Mountain of the Sun. And so here is a fun picture of Brandon.
Oh man.
And then
awesome. Just kicking it.
Yeah, that's him kicking it. And then I have a picture of us. This is us. Because we rode motorcycles up there, so I'm on the back of Brandon's bike.
What a wonderful memory.
Yeah. Yeah, so many great memories. My God, this is a great one. My buddy Sherman Allen, Bill's brother, got married in Texas. So here we have um, Louis Abernathy and Miguel Ferrer singing backup to me singing Rosanna. Toto.
Oh man.
Louis Abernathy was in my God, he was in Titanic. He's written so many great movies. He also, his character in The Big Lebowski, it's The Big Lebowski is about him. He was a private detective at some point.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. But dudes, I got a roll, unfortunately.
Well, thank you so much for, thank you for spending time with us, Ira.
How did you guys go? I don't see you. Max, there you go. You're the wizard.
Oh, there we are.
Perfect.
So Ira, is there a place where people can still, I don't know if you have like an open donation site or if there's anywhere where people can go to directly work with or find out more about, the work you've done with, Charity for Mental Health?
Absolutely, man. I have a website called, I think it is it's iraheiden.com. And on there, you can see a lot of the stuff that I've done. And I talk a lot of stuff on there, but I talk more shop on Instagram called The Real Ira Heiden, REEL Ira Heiden. And so that's where I'll do a lot of posting, more stuff with what's going on in the world of Ira.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, is the best way to get a hold of you, like if I wanted to reach out, for instance, and see about getting you, making your movie dream happen, or getting you out here to Mad Monster, is like reaching out through Instagram? Is that the best way?
So do me a favor, DM me on that.
Okay.
And I will hit you up, and then you could even grab my email from Max.
Cool.
And then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Thanks, guys. This has been a blast, man. Down memory. Oh wait. Oh my God. Hello. No, forget it. This thing's broken. This thing kills me. This is actually from Erickson. He made this one.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Kick ass, man.
He makes some great gloves, man.
Well, Ira, really appreciate it. When you chat with Heather later, just, let her know we all want that video game. We all want that legacy sequel. So no one's got to be shy about it. The fans want it. I
know. No, see, and that project that I'm working with her and this other guy actually has nothing to do with video games. It has something to do with something else from Nightmare on Elm Street that I cannot talk about. But the video game thing should be in the works hopefully soon. So,
awesome. Well, I cover horror news all the time on my channel. Okay. So if you ever need anyone to break a story for you,
that's always a good thing. Yeah, man. Cool. Well, do me a favor, give me a follow. I'll follow you. Yep. And Max, thanks for hitting me up on Instagram and making this happen.
Hey, no problem, buddy. It's been magical, pun intended.
Hey, yeah, it's been great. But listen, whatever you guys do, don't fall asleep.
We won't. And thanks for having me on again, Max. Appreciate you, bud.
Hey, no problem, guys. Thanks so much.
Cool. All right. Now
thanks, Ira.
I got to go, guys.
All right. Take care, sir. Have a good one.
Take it easy.
See you later, buddy.
Wow. That was, man, he made it so easy. Ira made it so easy.
I know.
I love that.
Yeah. Didn't seem like hard work at all. It seemed like, I love that. I love that he just had so many stories to throw out. So cool.
You never know. Like, you never know how that conversation's going to flow, or especially if you haven't, I haven't spoken with them before in any regard. So you just never know. But yeah, what a lot of irons in the fire there that I really want to see come to fruition there for Ira.
Definitely sparked some intriguingness. A game. projects, etc.
We do need that love letter to Brandon Lee, like, because it hasn't happened yet. It's one of those things that probably should have happened a while ago, as far as like, you know, I understand the film career was relatively short, but pretty damn impactful. So yeah, that's good that they're getting that going.
Yeah, it's a shame it took this long. Like, but hey, at least we're getting it, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of wild. You know, but I guess the thing is, like, you look at the filmmaking industry, unfortunately, you know, at some point it's going to come to somebody, it's going to land on someone's desk, and they're going to be like, how can we make money off this? And I'm not saying that that's what happened in this case. I'm just saying in a lot of cases of things not getting made, they just sort of, can it make money or can it not? You know?
Yeah, just go in the end, it comes out a profit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know,
but I think yeah, what Ira and you know, and Lou and all those guys are putting together should be pretty awesome. So yeah, we got to make that happen.
Oh fuck yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it.
Yeah, Carrie, you're right. I mean, he pretty much, because the career was so short, it is, you know, what he's known for. It is, I got to give props to the filmmakers there too, because they didn't replace him with another actor. I think it was the very first time there was like digital replacement, because they captured performances from earlier on in the movie of his, and they digitally like copied and pasted those for some of the moments at the end of the movie as well. There's like one moment in like specifically where they did that, which at the time, the movie came out in like 90, he passed away in 93. So the movie must have come out in 94, 93, 94. But you know, I think that's like a solid thing they did, is they finished the movie, they didn't bring somebody else in, and he still had his moment there.
Yeah, but at least he shot. I know they did have Crow sequels. I think, wasn't there 3 in total?
They did have sequels, and I don't know. I don't think they're playing the same character, because I think even in the comic books, you know, Brandon played Eric Draven, and I don't think the other 2 Crows are Brandon or Eric Draven, because I think there's other people. But when they did the remake, or the one with Bill Skarsgård, for whatever reason, they made it Eric Draven, and I think that's what upset people. Is like, we're getting a Crow movie, and somebody else is playing Brandon's character. And I think that's, you know, people sort of were ruffled a little bit at that, which I understand, because they could have just made him any other character that's been the Crow, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, it was a tiny bit distasteful, you know, so I could totally
understand. Just kind of odd when you don't have to do it that way, that you chose to do it that way, you know. Kind of strange, but I haven't seen the movie, so I can't speak to it other than that. Yeah, Max, this was awesome, man. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I dominated.
Oh, no. Listen, I was lapping up every word. I was just enjoying listening, you know?
Well, and I think like the cool thing is, I think Ira got to do, you know, a majority of the talking, and got to, you know, share his experience and his thoughts and his feelings and everything. And yeah, man, what an awesome community that we're a part of. Like, I think the fans are great for the most part. Obviously, any group of people, there's going to be turds in any group of people, but I just mean by and large, like the fans are amazing, and man, how gracious the performers are, the creatives are, like with their time, and how passionate they are. And you know, even somebody like Ira, who's, you know, was in one of these movies in Nightmare on Elm Street, he's still got that, you know, there's that level of passion there that's you know, inspiring. And we didn't even get to talk about it, dude, but he is in Father of the Bride, and he's the stock guy at the grocery store. Have you ever seen Father of the Bride with Steve Martin?
I saw it as a kid. I don't remember anything about it, but I do know what you mean.
Yeah, because he has a freak out in the supermarket over the hot dogs and the buns being packaged in different quantities. And Ira's character is the one that confronts him as he's having this, well, we would call it a crash out now. He's having a meltdown. In the 90s, we called them meltdowns, kids. And it's Ira's character that has to confront him. I think he goes to jail after that, the Steve Martin character. So yeah, pretty awesome. Pretty for having a relatively small role. It's one of the moments from the movie I actually remember. I haven't seen that movie since it came out, you know.
Yeah, such a small role, but memorable. That just, you know, That's down to Ira's comedic timing. Done a great job.
Yeah. Well, and dude, being able to work with Steve Martin and do something comedic with Steve Martin.
Well, that's amazing. I love Steve Martin.
Oh my God, he's so funny. Yeah, absolutely.
He's like the modern day version of Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, and it's like I don't need to love every one of his comedies. He did a lot of family comedies that like whatever, I don't have a family like that. I'm not a father or anything. Like I can't relate with every little thing, but man, the Jerk and even like Little Shop of Horrors, that's my favorite musical. So yeah, Steve Martin is just what was the other one I just had in my head? Damn it, and I forgot it. Oh, Trains and Automobiles. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yeah.
Legendary. It's one of my favorite movies, comedy wise.
He's had silver hair since 1975, guys.
Yeah, he's always looked old. It's just like Leslie Nielsen. He's always looked old, even when he was young.
Yeah, never aged. Never aged. Leslie Nielsen just all of a sudden one day passed away, but he never aged for like 50 years.
Never. Yeah. The same age for 50 odd years.
Oh, Three Amigos is a really good one. Adam brings that one up. Three Amigos. Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Now we're talking.
That movie's amazing. I mean, those three guys in that movie. It's
just perfect chemistry.
When they all hosted SNL before the movie came out, like Chevy, Martin, and Steve all hosted the show together. That is a really funny episode. Just check it out. If you haven't checked it out, it's hilarious. Those guys together. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I might even watch it tonight. Why not?
There you go.
Gives me a task.
Cool, well, shoot, look at you bringing out one of the big guns, getting Ira Heiden from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Man, how do you do it, Max?
Oh, magic. Pun intended again. All right. Well, I will let you go. I have to get dinner sorted, and we got a puppy last week.
Yeah, that's super sweet. What kind of puppy you got?
It's a mix between a Border Collie and a Labrador.
All right.
I think they're called Barbadors or something.
So super cute and friendly and loyal.
Oh yes, biting everything, of course.
Oh yeah, they're gonna bite your toes. They're gonna bite whatever. They're kooky. Those dogs,
Oh, damn dogs.
What do you have coming up on your channel?
I know I have a review of Jeepers Creepers coming up, and then I want to do Hollow Man. Have you ever seen it? Hollow Man, Kevin Bacon.
I haven't seen Hollow Man. I gotta check it out though, because I've heard so many good things about it. I just totally missed it when it was in the theater and new, and then never went back.
Oh, dude, totally check it out. It's underrated. It's messed up, but it's pretty overrated. Underrated.
Yeah, I heard it's got that like some really creepy elements, and for a PG-13 horror movie, like good. They need to do something to make it creepy and uncomfortable. So yeah, and I am a big Bacon fan, a big Kevin Bacon fan.
Baconator.
So the Baconator. Oh my gosh. Cool, man. Well, yeah, this was amazing. Thank you so much. Any other time you want me to, horn in on one of your interviews, just let me know.
Hey, 100%. Thanks for taking the time out to be with us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and something we could maybe do something in the future that's just if you wanted to put together, if you guys enjoyed this, even if it's not an interview and we just put together some sort of discussion. I mean, I'd love to have you on the channel as well. I know that our time zones are like, whoa, but I'm sure we can find something, especially if we did something on a weekend, because I've been trying to do those. Like it's a daytime stream for the US folks, and it's like mid-evening for you guys out in the UK, like on the weekends. So we could
totally
figure something out. Oh yeah,
throw me a DM and we'll make it happen.
We'll talk offline and find maybe pinpoint something that would just be perfect for us.
Yeah, find that sweet spot.
Yep, exactly.
Well, thanks again, pal. Really, really appreciate it, and have a great night or evening or morning. What is there?
It's not even 1 p.m. because I'm all the way. I'm on Pacific time now. Arizona doesn't change time, but everyone else does. So sometimes I'm on Mountain Time, sometimes I'm on Pacific Time. So yeah, it's still early here. Gonna finish out the workday and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, thanks again so much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. Give the puppy some pets for me.
I will. I definitely will. And thank you for everybody that's tuned in. Everyone that commented.
Absolutely.
Appreciate every one of you. And have a good one. Thanks, Dave.
Yep. Take care, y'all.
See ya.